Hello YouTube, this is Magnitude Gaming here, finally showing my face. I want to take this time to thank all of you for your support. 500 plus subscribers, really appreciate it all. Thank you so much for all the likes, for all the comments, criticism. I appreciate it all, guys, so thank you so much. So I'd like to take this time to introduce this new series I want to do. It's called This Day in Yu-Gi-Oh! And we just go through a list of events that happened on this day related to the anime, card game, pretty much anything Yu-Gi-Oh! Related. So let's go back to 1997. Actually, I don't know too much about the manga, but on December 1st, 1997, it was release of the 58th chapter in the manga. And it basically had to do with the last battle with Zork. It had to do with Bakura and Yami. I think it's very similar to the anime where they end up going back to ancient Egypt, you know, Yugi, Yami Yugi, and then Bakura. And then, you know, there's like the evil Bakura just goes back and they end up going to Egypt, just having like, this battle during the, was it Shadow Games at the time it was called? So yeah, it's pretty much the last season of Duel Monsters I believe it's related to. Alright, now we're going to go to 1999. This is the release of Booster Pack 6. So at the time they actually didn't release any booster packs like they do now. It was more of they put it in vending machines. And these vending machines were all by Bandai. It's very popular in Japan. It's been popular since 1988, 89. And that's how you got cards. The cards aren't how they are now. They don't have like little holograms on the corner. They don't have like the set name or numbers. It was just the cards, and you'll see them below. It'll be just cards with the stats on it, and that's pretty much it. Kind of like how the anime was. And I believe that I believe all cards have been printed from that set. About 7 cards actually were never printed in the OCG. I'm sorry. 7 cards were never printed in the OCG. The list of cards was Boulder Tortoise, Dragon Statue, Garvus, Ilwitch, Machileon, Rock Spirit, and Spirit of the Winds. These cards have never been printed in the TCG. I'll have those down at the bottom to show you guys what I mean. So 2001 where Yugi has to duel the fake Kaiba, you know, like where there's an evil Kaiba and he has the 3 blue eyes and Yugi believes must be Kaiba. And then Yugi finds out this was the evil side of Kaiba that he sent to the Shadow Realm in the dub. I believe in the Japanese anime, they either say that he's some master of disguise or a shapeshifter that became Kaiba, but he wasn't really Kaiba. It was just somebody hired by Pegasus to be an Eliminator in the Duelist Kingdom series. 2002 was the release of the 4th Forbidden, or should I say limited list. Back then there still weren't any banned cards. A lot of cards were just either limited or forbidden. It was actually a rather small list. So there were 12 cards that were added to the list. 9 of them were relatively new. They were released from Pharaoh's Servant. So to make things easier, it was Backup Soldier, Morphing Jar number 2, and Nobleman of Crossout were all semi-limited. Meanwhile, Jinzo, Morphing Jar, Witch of the Black Forest, Card Destruction, Limited Removal, Premature Burial, Swords of Revealing Light, Call of the Haunted, Ceasefire, and Imperial Order, they were all limited for this ban list. Alright, let's go 2003. So in 2003 was the release of Dark Crisis. It introduced us to the Guardian and the Archfiend archetypes here in the TCG, and most importantly, it gave us a lot of cards that would define the meta for years to come. Most notably Vampire Lord, DD Warrior Lady, Tsukuyomi, Sakuretsu Armor, and Skill Drain. These were all in that pack, and so this is 2004. This was the release of Rise of Destiny in the TCG, and they actually didn't give any promotional cards for that sneak peek. In fact, it was the first set to have a sneak peek, so yeah, no promotional card there, unfortunately, which is tragic. You know, it's all fun in that. The most notable cards of this set were actually just the Stalos, the Firestorm Monarch, and Dekoichi. Nothing too prominent. There's also the release date of the episode that aired in Japan. It's called Family Business, or One Blow, Certain Kill, Flipping the Table. This is the episode where Chun-Li's dad comes to Duel Academy and tells Chun-Li to come back to work at the family business. In the Japanese version, it's actually a sake restaurant, and they end up dueling for it. And even though Chun-Li loses, the dad was impressed by Jaden and Cyrus, just how good of friends they were. So Chun-Li ends up staying at Duel Academy. Good for him. 2005. This is actually an OCG product, and it was the release of the Duel Academy Duel Disc. I actually, like, this looks really cool. I wish I would have owned one of these. It's probably worth a lot of money now. So in Japan, when you got it, you actually would end up getting like that big box with the Duel Disc, and you also ended up getting 5 packs of the Jaden Yuki and Chaz Princeton Duelist packs, in addition to 4 promotional cards. The cards that you would get were Elemental Hero Steam Healer, Armed Dragon level 10, Treasure Map, and Hero Spirit. 2006. This is the release of also the second weekly Shonen Jump issue. It was the Mosaic Manicore promo card that came in it. Nothing much to say there. 2010. This is related to the anime. It's the 137th episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds that aired in Japan. It's called Approaching Terror, the Citadel of God, Our Cradle. This was right after Team 5Ds had won the World Racing Grand Prix. Unfortunately, this episode, along with anything after this, was never dubbed by 4Kids. So if you want to watch this episode, it's only available in Japanese. But if you go to a certain site, you can find the Japanese version with some subs on it. 2011. So 2011 was the release of Hidden Arsenal 5, Steel Swarm Invasion. It's pretty forgettable set, honestly. I mean, we did get a little bit of support for Gusto's, Steel Swarm, Gem Knights and Gishki. Gishki probably being a little more prominent because we ended up getting some FTK with that, but pretty forgettable set. I honestly don't remember much from it, and nothing special from it. So let's go to 2013. This is day 1 of YCS Turn in Italy. This was a meta defined by Dragon Wars, where people were basically throwing it into whatever they could. Dragoonities were playing it. People even started teching plant builds into it, like Lone Fire, and, you know, Spore, things like that. And this was basically a big upset by San Pedigo of the United States beating Konrad Grunwald from Germany. And it wasn't an upset at all because of the players. San Pedigo was a great player. Multiple tops, had been to Worlds. It was an upset because of the deck choices. While Konrad was playing the, you know, obvious deck choice of Dragon Wars, San Pedigo ended up main decking 3 Imperial Iron Walls, 3 Gozen matches, and 1 Soldiering to combat the strategy of Dragon Wars. Pedigo also ended up becoming the first American to win a European YCS. And that does it for this episode, guys. Tune in for the next episode on In This Day in History of Yu-Gi-Oh! I appreciate all the support again, and thank you so much for watching. That's the T for Magnitude, guys. Thanks for watching.